access games can be a hit or miss. And at first, Chef RPG was a miss for me. But then, I played one full year. I was quick to judge. From spring festivals to grand openings, to volcano expeditions, culinary rivalries, and running a Studio Ghibli bathhouse in the snow, it's fair to say I did not give it a fair chance. Without further ado, let's get into it. You play as a chef who graduated from a prestigious cooking academy and has spent some time working under Chef Canton in Billboard City. Feeling unfulfilled with your life there, you hear from your former mentor, the legendary Chef Casteau, who offers you a chance to start over. Taking a leap of faith, you accept his invitation to revive his old restaurant, La Sequoia, in the quiet town of White Ash Harbor. You can choose which season you start in, and I picked spring so I can actually find more resources and start off strong. Naturally, I chose to be an android instead of human, and to specialize as a saucier, which give me 3 soup recipes to start out with. You have some skill points you can start off with too. I just put points in every single category because why not? After arriving in White Ash Harbor, I'm greeted by a friendly android named Hazel, who shows me around the town and eventually to my new restaurant, La Sequoia. While Hazel cleans up the place before I get to see it, I go meet some of the people around town. And a lot of the vendors give me free supplies such as a fishing rod from Alloys, bow from Uriel the Butcher. I meet the fruit vendors and veggie vendors Melu and Nabiha, Milo who sells clothing and goods, Thelio who works at Milk and Wheat, Bianca who works at Bits and Pieces, and there's a couple other people that I didn't quite catch yet, but we'll meet them later. Once Hazel finishes cleaning, I set up some starter furniture and appliances. I run a tiny test service with just Hazel, making a simple watercress salad and some cranberry glazed carrots. But Hazel immediately tells me I need to talk to Bianca to fix my sad little fridge. Bianca agrees to fix it up as long as I buy some rather expensive chocolates from Thelio. With the fridge upgraded, I add a couple more tables and do another test run. It's manageable without a waiter, but barely. I head home to my surprisingly cute modern apartment that Chef Casteau set up for me and get ready for a soft opening. The next few days are all prep. I learned how to hunt boars and pheasants with my bow, forage mushrooms and watercress amongst other things, and slowly build up my kitchen with new appliances. I make my first takeout order of grilled cranberry carrots from one of the quests on the notice board in the town. After hiring a waiter, I launched the soft opening. And it goes surprisingly well. The feedback so far is that the food is great, but the ambiance could be better, which is fair. These floors are horrendous. Now everyone is slightly pressuring me to launch a grand opening, but luckily at my own pace. Priska, who's in charge of running the town hall, actually offers to fix up my floors for free if I go retrieve the carpenter's tools from the abandoned, supposedly haunted bathhouse. So I do what any sane person would do. I walk straight into this creepy bathhouse that very much so gives Studio Ghibli. After I bring the tools back to Priska, she lets me pick which floors I want, so I picked these pretty wooden parquet floors. I opened up today to just get a feel for running the place and see if I'm ready for the grand opening. I swing by the town to restock on fresh produce from Melu and Nabiha, and talk to Milo who offers to help decorate the outside of my restaurant if I bring him seashells and watercress. On the way home, Priska and a construction crew also open the mines after a corporation called Lelsh makes a deal with the mayor. Apparently they have a reputation of ruining small towns, but sure, let's open the mines anyway. Priska hands me a drill and asks me to grab some materials for her in the mines for a project she's working on. But I'm gonna be honest, a low priority for me right now as I prep for the grand opening. Later that night, I have a flashback about when I was in culinary school about to graduate, and I have a cooking rival, Koya. It was a pretty brief memory, but coincidentally, the same Koya is standing outside of my restaurant and mentions he couldn't believe I actually had the gall to move out here and accept the challenge. He says he will swing by for the grand opening. While still collecting seashells for Milo, I tried out some fishing for a little bit. I didn't understand how it worked at first, so I kind of gave up on it, but I swear I eventually get the hang of it. The next few days, I hunted and foraged, stocked up on ingredients from the shops, and ran the restaurant just to get used to the mechanics still. I went to this spring harvest festival that Melu hosted at her farm. I made a couple dishes using their fresh crops and used my festival tokens to buy some cute furniture and a cute hat. I tried a game called Farmer's Wager, which is essentially kind of like poker, but using crops instead of cards. I played against multiple people and somehow won first place. I won power cells, which I have no idea what that's for yet, but awesome, so I would say I had a pretty good day. Later on, Milo set up some decorations for me and I've hired more staff to help me. It's finally time for the grand opening. Most of the town came to celebrate and eat lots of good food, but a lot of my staff were getting tired pretty quickly and literally falling asleep on the job. So I had to pick up some of the slack towards the end, but overall I would say it went well. My old cooking rival Koya met me after the grand opening and said that the food was amazing, and gave me an epic level recipe and wished me good luck. After a long day, I crash, and in the meantime, a big-time food critic named Lucius heard about my grand opening in the news and is planning on visiting my restaurant to critique it for himself. He's apparently shut down several restaurants before, so I guess I really need to prepare. One of the ways I need to prepare is by getting more recipes. Apparently there's actually a skill tree I can grow, and one of the skills I just got is that I can visit the library to find new recipes. B, who runs the town bar, teaches me how to make alcohol, gives me a boiler, fruit press, and fermentation tank. I don't have many recipes that require alcohol at this point, but hey, I'll take it. I wish there was a better place to put the alcohol machines instead of it just being awkwardly placed in my restaurant, but it's okay. I hire more chefs and waiters and add more appliances. I talked to my neighbor April, who's apparently a fortune teller, and she lets me borrow her tea brewing machine so my staff can stop dying on me every shift. And I gotta admit, it was pretty helpful. But even with more staff, the wait times are still kind of rough. But hey, that's the startup restaurant life. Eventually, I leveled up the restaurant and unlocked the Berry Bliss cheesecake recipe. Today is the last day of spring, and I actually ended my spring session by passing out and waking up at Bianca's repair shop. Hey, a little bit of a rough start, but it's officially summer and we survived the spring season. There seemed to be about the same amount, maybe even a little bit more ingredients to gather and animals to hunt. After several days of foraging, hunting, and running the restaurant, I finally ventured into the mines. Not because I wanted to, but because someone stole a bunch of flour from Thelio at Milk and Wheat, and he's panicking because his boss checks inventory religiously. Thelio suspects that the thieves might be in the beach cave, so he asked me to check it out. When I go, I see a lot of suspicious activity, and I honestly did not feel safe. Like, I had to get out of there. Sorry, Thelio. So we cook up the brilliant idea to just make more flour. Bianca agrees to help, but she needs iron and copper ore to build a flour mill. There isn't much to mine at first, so I tried going in daily, but it eats up a huge chunk of time. Whenever I wasn't mining, I was foraging, hunting, or experimenting with alcohol recipes. Dropping by Town Hall, Priska shows me a donation box for community projects. Every week I can fund things like opening new mines, building a furniture store, a barber shop, and more. I'm not gonna lie, I donate towards the barber shop first because listen, I need a new hairdo. Apparently, that'll take a few days to finish. The next couple days is just grinding away. Did a lot of foraging and mining, of course. I'm starting to realize I basically have to choose one major activity per day. Run the restaurant, mine, or gather ingredients because everything takes forever. Eventually, the barbershop opens and the haircut I get is so freaking cute. Anyway, back to business. I dedicate a day to running the restaurant and things go smoothly, but at the back of my mind, I'm waiting for the food critic to show up. I feel like my decor could be better. I also know I need more staff, but I really don't want to spend the money. I scour the library for new recipes, check in at the town hall, and thanks to my skill tree, I unlock the ability to build a research facility. I can pick between baking, barbecue, or vegetarian. I've thought about turning my place into a confectionery, so I'm leaning towards the baking facility. I also learned I can use the power cells I won earlier to expand my restaurant, or even buy a house. I just so happen to have enough money in power cells to upgrade La Sequoia, so that's what I did. Your girl is moving on up. Once I finally gather the materials for Bianca, she builds the flour mill. After Thelio gets the flour he needs, I get to keep the mill, which is great because buying ingredients is so expensive. He also suggests I talk to Anna, Meilu's sister, about decor since she makes furniture. On my way to her, I bump into Meilu, who asks if I want to use the greenhouse at April's place. She is supposedly just cool with me randomly using her greenhouse whenever I please. So Meilu asks if I can grow some tomatoes for her there. I noticed that the farming mechanics were a little awkward trying to plant the tomatoes, but I managed. When I finally meet Anna May, she agrees to make lamps but needs quartz, and also wants to eat at my restaurant for free because it's necessary for the design process. I let her dine and dash, then open the restaurant again so I can actually make some money. The orders come in fast and I'm already running low on ingredients, especially dairy products. I try to buy from Milk and Wheat every day, but eventually realize the convenience store near B and Ames' house sells more dairy products. Down at the beach, I run into Nassim. He tells me there's a maintenance room under La Sequoia, but after a night of heavy drinking with Bowie, he lost the key. Bowie remembers nothing and suggests recreating the night with the same drink, cachaca. I'll shelve that idea for later because I'd have to actually make the cachaca and that'll take a hot minute. But when I check back on Anna May's lamps, they're not exactly what I pictured. But hey, you know, the thought is there. The next couple days, I focus on stocking ingredients so I don't run out mid-service. I briefly considered switching to a vegetarian restaurant, but realistically, I'm not vegetarian and meat dishes make a great profit. Sorry, vegans. The tomatoes eventually ripen, some for Meilu and some extra for the restaurant. win is a win. Today is the Summer Festival. Bee and her husband Aim, along with their 6 kids by the way, are hosting this festival. The goal is to send off as many lanterns as possible in your respective teams. You choose one other partner to work with, and since I've gotten pretty close to Mei Lu, I choose to work with her. We gather driftwood, shells, and fish scales, and we put them together to make our lanterns, and voila! We crank out a ton of lanterns and actually win first place and win more power cells. I'm pretty competitive, so listen, I don't play with these festivals. I'm here to win, okay? Also, I'd like to announce that your girl bought a house. I know, moving up in the world. I stopped by the furniture shop just to add the necessities to my house. I have my little bedroom, and I try to add a little kitchen area, and I honestly don't have much. It's enough just to get by for now, but I think it's so freaking cute. I love like the little window that has like the leaves falling down. I just think it's like, this is my cute little humble abode. I finally started making the kachaka for Nassim. All I had to do was throw some sugarcane into the boiling vat and wait for that to brew before we move on to the next step. In the meantime, it's time for the food critic. I have already added some more decor and even bought a formal gown because obviously I want to slay for this. I opened the service for the food critic. I tried my damnness to cook the dishes for the food critic myself so I can actually control the quality of the dish, but unfortunately my chefs were still kind of taking the dishes before I could, and I didn't know which order was his anyways. Overall though, the evening seemed to have gone well. I head to bed after a long day and await the arrival of the review in the morning. Look what's in the mail. A solid 8 out of 10. I'll take it. He liked the decor and enjoyed the food, but said the recipes were common and the service was very slow, which, fair. That's my biggest complaint from the other customers as well. Still, a pretty solid review. Lucius asked to meet me at Hotel Rose, and he says that I'm talented and have potential, and hints at recruiting me for some mysterious cause in the future. He refuses to say more, but he's also staying in White Ash Harbor for a while. He doesn't seem impressed with the town, but honestly, he's not as scary as I had expected. For the rest of the summer, I complete notice board quests, gather ingredients before the seasonal change, and ramp up greenhouse farming in case fall or winter has fewer resources. I also put more credits in the community project box and ended up opening the copper mines. These mines are rich of crabs, and honestly it's making me think maybe I need more seafood recipes at my restaurant. I don't know. I accidentally overworked myself a couple times, passed out, and lose half a day getting repaired by Bianca, you know, Android problems. I squeeze in one last full restaurant service before fall season starts and realize once again that I desperately need more staff. I'm just stubborn about spending the money and I'm already kind of penny pinching. Even with me helping the staff, I still can't keep up with all the orders. But once I earn more money, that'll be my top priority. It is officially the best season. I am soaking in the fall bliss. Even though I still haven't finished making that kachaka, I swear I'm working on it. I discovered a few more restaurant recipes, honestly not as many as I'd hoped by this point, but I finally earned enough skill points for that perk where you discover recipes randomly during a restaurant service if I'm cooking the dishes. Exactly what I needed. I stopped by Town Hall and talked to Priska about building a research facility. I choose a baking facility and construction begins. Completely out of nowhere, Chef Casteau is standing outside La Sequoia. He read Lucius's review and says I've done a great job. He asked me to meet him at the abandoned bathhouse and tells me to keep it hush-hush. Inside, I'm greeted by this girl named Najette, who is not thrilled to see me, and then taken to Aylin and Casteau. Aylin is the owner of the bathhouse and had it shut down a long time ago after Casteau left. They want me to help restore it. Casteau feels bad about leaving Aylin in the town a long time ago and says he's too old now but trusts me to handle it. I'm not exactly sure all of what I'm signing up for, but okay. The first task is to get some copper pipes from Bianca. I swing by Bianca and she's agreed to supply the pipes, but I have to give her some vodka, copper, and iron ore. Obviously I have to go grab the copper and iron ore, but honestly I probably will just buy the vodka. The baking facility finishes construction, so I test it out. Basically, you take any edible ingredient, play the baking minigame to cook it, and if you are successful, you unlock new recipes after leveling up a couple times. You can also enhance recipes, but I didn't utilize this feature as much. So your girl finally feels established enough to start thinking about dating. I start talking to Nassim, who's the guy that runs the apartment complex I was crashing in, and he has 2 daughters. Apparently his kid's mom died in childbirth, which is so sad, but the reason his hair is so funky looking like this is because he lets his daughters do his hair, and he just embraces it. We love a confident, loving dad. Nasim is also a huge gamer, which I love that so much, and he's constantly talking about which games he's playing once his daughters go to sleep. We have a nice date at the beach together, and we get to know each other a lot more, and we even share a kiss at the end of the date. I'm also talking to Milo, who is the guy that runs the clothing shop. He has this confidence in his masculinity while designing clothes, which I love. He's a pretty blunt dude, but he's charming. Back to reality. The greenhouse is thriving, but I really need some sprinklers because watering daily is a chore. It takes me a while to water all of these crops in the morning. Later on, I open the restaurant and we get slammed. I can have 16 customers at once, but it feels like too much because everyone is still ordering dishes while they're eating. Still, I made a solid 9,200 credits. I also unlocked the supply chain perk, which lets ingredients ship directly to the restaurant. Amazing for convenience, terrible for my bank account. I drop off the pipes at the bathhouse, and Najet and Aylin immediately send me to a whole-ass volcano to mine sulfur for bath bombs. I buy ice packs from Valentina because I'm definitely not immune to the heat in a volcano, but nonetheless, I head in. Even with the ice packs, I'm taking constant heat damage until I unlock the heat resistance perk, and that perk is a lifesaver. Back at the bathhouse, Najet teaches me how to make bath bombs. Super tricky, and my first one is a total failure. It took me a couple tries, but I made some decent bath bombs. Now we just wait for the next step in renovations. I eventually swapped the baking facility for a barbecue facility since my restaurant leans traditional and meat-heavy dishes. I earn a bunch of high-quality recipes and even max out the facility, getting a legendary recipe, Beef Wellington. Only problem is that it needs Wagyu steak, a legendary ingredient I can only buy from Uriel after unlocking the Lelsh membership, which is a community project. I can only donate so many credits each week to the donation box though, so this is another long-term goal. I hired more staff at La Sequoia, wait times drop, customers are happier, and profits are going up. Figured out that if I run a service for about 10 hours, I consistently make over 10,000 credits. I also finally get sprinklers from Bianca and stop spending half my life watering plants. Using my perks, I can now own vending machines. I buy the one right outside my old place, and I literally have no clue what to stock in it. Right now, I'm just throwing vegetables in it and whatever else I have. I might eventually upgrade to putting alcoholic drinks in there later once I actually start making them. On another note, the Autumn Festival is arriving soon. Valentina is hosting it, and she asked me to grow 20 genetically enhanced pumpkins that practically take one night to grow. I grow them for her, but now I'm stuck with 32 more that aren't even edible, and I have no idea what I can do with them. The Autumn Festival is officially here. The main event of the festival is basically smash as many pumpkins as you can. I was dead last for a while and everything took forever to break because my weapons suck. It was pretty fun and satisfying to smash pumpkins though, and I eventually lock in and earn a ton of tokens at the end. I bought a cute pumpkin-y fireplace, some other furniture, and an epic level bow. But I refused to go full pumpkin themed with the furniture. I was not ready for that commitment. The next day I go on a date with Milo. We go on a quiet beach walk. Not sure for the right match, but I'm giving it a chance. He asked me what I think about having schedules, and I'm a pretty free spirit when it comes to that, truthfully, but apparently he thinks that's a little chaotic. He didn't even give me a kiss at the end of the date like Nasim, so I'm not sure how I'm feeling about him. But I don't know if I really want to be a stepmom, so I'm not sure about how I'm feeling with Nasim either. Through donations, I've unlocked the iron, copper, and quartz mines, plus the barber shop. I'm now working towards opening a furniture shop at Hotel Rose and then unlocking Lelsh. A couple days later, the furniture shop opened, and to my surprise, a pet shop too. I, of course, immediately buy a cat and name her Mimi. Small issue, he's actually a boy, but he's Mimi now. The furniture shop is so cute and pretty girly, but pretty pricey. I kind of just bought like one thing and called it a day. Later on, I hosted my first restaurant party event for anime. I set up the stage, decorations, and my team powers through a wave of orders. It goes well, and I actually earned some power cells. The next morning, I wake up to Mimi being adorable. I run a long restaurant day because I desperately need cash and make a whopping 27,000 credits. I'm really starting to make a lot of money now, and I'm pretty proud of myself. It's starting to be really profitable. I check on the bathhouse to see if we've made any progress with it, and it looks like we're almost ready for the grand opening. Aylin gives me ownership of the attached restaurant, and it's beautiful. Honestly, the layout is way cuter than my main place. It's the perfect spot for a little confectionery cafe I've been imagining. I moved some of my staff from La Sequoia to the tea house to save money. I'm not going to hire a whole new team of staff right now. I'm doing well, but not that well. I added some appliances and decorate with the stuff that I already have. I get a coffee machine from Bianca, which hopefully works better than the tea dispenser. Then I open for a little soft lunch. Some people from the town come by for some drinks and desserts. That went well, and I am so pumped for this grand opening for the bathhouse, but we're still waiting on some renovations. I finally give the kachaka to Nassim. He drinks it and is literally running around town drunk as all get out. Love that for him. And eventually he finds the key to the maintenance room under the restaurant and lets me use it to store stuff, which I'm so happy about this because now I can store all those clunky big appliances somewhere out of sight. Najette pulls me aside. Apparently she ran into her old boss Damien, who thought she was dead. She was caught up with some bad dudes and was originally sent to the bathhouse to steal the deed to it, but when she met Aylin, she defected and pretended she died so her old boss wouldn't find her. Now Damien knows she's alive. He conveniently loves fine dining, so she begs me to invite him for a free meal, but after the meal, Damien still tries to take her back. Luckily, Aylin saved the day. She threatens to call the police on him and admits she always knew Najette was a spy, but didn't care because she wanted to help her. Total mother-daughter moment. Damien and his goons bug off and Najette is safe and sound. By the end of a beautiful fall season, the bathhouse is fully repaired and ready for its grand opening. Perfect timing for the cold weather. I love the Studio Ghibli vibes so much. It is absolutely beautiful. The final fall festival is here, and it's the Spirit Festival. The goal is to light the lamps around town to guide the spirits. In order to do that, we gather ash tubers, press them into oil, and light them with the spirit flame, and then use that flame to light the lamps around town. But if the spirit touches you, they steal some of your light. My tools weren't the best, so it took me a while to gather the ash tubers. Priska asked me to look out for her dead cat, Biscuit's spirit, and feed him a treat because that's her tradition with him every year. I eventually find Biscuit and give him his little treat. Farewell, Biscuit. You take care in the afterlife. I did my best lighting as many lamps around town as I could, and I got a decent token package out of it. We were successful in guiding the spirits on their journey. When I was spending my tokens, I saw a giant cauldron that I thought would be cool for the tea house, and I got some cute tables. As winter approaches, I stock up on supplies since I'll be relying on supply chains more. Aylin tells me the requirements for the grand opening. I need at least 7 chefs, 5 waiters, and 20 dining spots. So I decorate as best as I can with what I've got. I also unlocked a second research facility, and this one specializes in mixology. I figured this would be pretty important since all I'm selling here is desserts and drinks. So I think it's best that I can unlock as many drink recipes as possible. And that pretty much wraps up the fall season. I feel like I made a ton of progress. Now that winter has arrived, it's time to shift my focus towards the grand opening of the bathhouse. I spend the first few days brushing up on my mixology skills because I still feel like I barely have any drink recipes. Once everything feels remotely stable, I let Aylin know I'm ready. The bathhouse opens, and honestly, I couldn't be happier. It's stunning. Everyone pours in their bathing suits, excited for a warm dip in the middle of winter, and when I open my restaurant inside, the orders immediately start flying in. We serve tons of delicious cocktails and desserts, and the coffee dispenser is way more efficient than that old tea machine, by the way. And I'll admit, the profits aren't quite as high as La Sequoia, but the vibes are unmatched. After the successful opening, Aylin and Najette are thrilled. Aylin even shares her past. She was once human, but after falling ill, underwent an experimental procedure that turned her into an android. She faced heavy prejudice afterwards, which led her to close the bathhouse so long ago. Now, though, androids like me live amongst humans freely. Chef Cousteau quietly leaves the town after seeing the bathhouse restored, and although it's bittersweet, it feels like he's finally at peace. For the next several days, I kind of ignored La Sequoia. I'm just obsessed with the bathhouse restaurant right now, the aesthetic, the cozy winter atmosphere, everything. Midwinter, I finally find the exact tables and chairs I've been wanting. These gorgeous pink and purple sets that match the vibe perfectly. I actually got them from exchanging bath tickets after making bath bombs, so now I'm double motivated to gather more sulfur. Several days later, I eventually return to La Sequoia and give her the makeover she deserves. I want a classy, polished dining experience with a consistent theme, especially since I can't run both restaurants at the same time, even though I really wish I could. Because the main restaurant earns more money with full meals, I kind of shift my focus back there. I'm doing well enough financially to hire a huge team, over 20 staff members. I run one of my longest services ever, and we served over 120 customers and made a record-breaking 76,000 credits in one service. It's insane. By now, I feel pretty established. I rely heavily on on supply chains, which cost a whopping 51,000 credits a week, but since I make about that much per service, it balances out, as long as I actually open the restaurant. If I skip a day, yeah, it stings. I wrap up the year with the Winter Festival. The whole town gathers across a few days to build the biggest gingerbread house the world has ever seen. I team up with Hazel, and we grind hard, making gumdrops, icing, graham crackers, the whole sugary lineup. We take first place, a dream team. I'm kind of sad that I reached the end of the year. My time in White Ash Harbor has been so rewarding, and seeing the town come together for moments like this just makes me appreciate the journey even more. And that was my first full year in White Ash Harbor. What started as a tiny rundown restaurant with a broken fridge turned into 2 thriving locations, a restored bathhouse, a dedicated staff, and a community that actually feels alive. I survived a food critic, seasonal festivals, wars, volcano expeditions, and most importantly, the chaos of trying to run a restaurant while being chronically short-staffed. Chef RPG surprised me in the best possible way. It's cozy, chaotic, weirdly emotional, and way deeper than I expected, especially as updates keep expanding the world. And this game is still in early access. I can't even believe it. If this is what a single in-game year looks like, I can't wait to see what the next one brings. Thanks for watching, and here's to another year in White Ash Harbor.